A married couple sparked both outrage and debate online after a restaurant shared their CCTV imagery after they left the restaurant without paying a bill of over £300. I did a video on this previously, which I'll link below, and there's also an excellent article on this story on the Magistrates Blog, which I will also link below. Now, first of all, the debate, which surprised me, quite frankly, because a lot of people argued that their imagery should not have been shared online. They shouldn't have been named and shamed publicly because that, they said, wasn't fair. I argued that that was perfectly permissible because if someone has done something wrong and the restaurant was seeking to find out who they were, which in this case was successful, I think because of the social media attention that it received, that is, as I say, perfectly fine. So the restaurant shared their CCTV imagery, lots of people saw it, I did a video on it, hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people saw this story. The police eventually found them, arrested them and then charged them. First of all, here is the video credit to South Wales Police of that arrest.
In 17, at the moment, right, you're under arrest.
Alright.
Suspicion of fraud by making off a payment, okay? You're also under arrest for theft as well, right? So you don't say anything, criminal harm defence, you don't mention questions, and you later line in court. And then you do say maybe. Time is 9:21, right? You're also under arrest, suspicion of fraud, and also theft offences as well, right? So you don't say anything, criminal harm defence, you don't mention questions, you line in court. And you do say maybe given evidence.
So Anne and Bernard McDonough appeared at Swansea Magistrates Court on Wednesday, the 8th of May, and they each admitted to 5 offences of fraud. Anne McDonough also admitted to an additional 5 offences of shop theft and obstructing a police constable in the exercise of their duties. When they first appeared in court, however, District Judge James declined to sentence them, and they ended up in the Crown Court before His Honour Judge Thomas Casey at Swansea Crown Court on the 29th of May. Now, whilst it hasn't been reported what particular type of fraud they've been charged with, fraud is a very straightforward offence under Section 1 of the Fraud Act 2006. Broadly speaking, there is fraud by false representation, failing to disclose information, or fraud by abuse of a position. Now, the pair have been demonstrably, repeatedly and persistently dishonest. The court heard that Anne had 18 previous convictions for 36 separate offences, including several shop thefts and fraud by false representation, and 20 different aliases recorded against her on the police national computer, with 10 separate different dates of birth, giving a clue as to what all of the fraud by false representation might have been. Bernard also has 27 previous convictions for 40 offences, including public order matters, offences against the person, possession of drugs, and 23 different aliases on the police national computer, and 8 different dates of birth. All of which resulting in the judge describing Anne as a fluent and practiced liar with a significant record of dishonesty, who he said was the driving force behind the Dine and Dash offences that you saw in the original video. One thing that might shock and horrify you about this story is that the judge also commented, this is courtesy of the Magistrates Blog from which I read this, that they even left one of their children behind as security while they pretended to seek alternative payment methods. The judge concluded with the comment, if your community is, as I am told, disgusted with your behaviour, they have every right to be. And they were both sentenced to immediate custody. Anne was sentenced to 12 months custody, and Bernard was sentenced to 8 months custody. Now, given the serious and persistent history of offending here, it is very good to see immediate custodial sentence imposed upon such a couple who've been dishonestly defrauding and stealing from businesses in the local area. They've also been ordered to pay compensation to the affected businesses, and it will serve as a stark warning to anybody that does decide to leave a restaurant without paying or steal from shops, that their CCTV imagery may well be shared online, and that might well, as was likely in this case, lead to your identification, arrest, charge, and custodial sentence, as the case might be. So once again, I'd like to thank everybody that shared the original video, the original posts, which in all likelihood led to their identification and their subsequent conviction. Do remember to check out the article on the Magistrates Blog in the description below, because that's also an interesting read. And in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.